Veganism is a total scam, and within 3 minutes, I'm going to convince you why.
Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So after seeing guys like Brian Turner and Lifting Vegan Logic have so much fun responding to all the anti-vegan nonsense on TikTok, I thought I'd jump in too. I'm not necessarily going to make those vertical like TikTok videos for TikTok, but I still want to respond to this nonsense here on YouTube. And I found this lovely video called Veganism is a Total Scam by a guy named reecemandernutritionist. Like, are you really a registered nutritionist? Because as we'll see, pretty much everything he says is completely flawed or factually wrong. So anyway, let's jump right in and see if he can convince us in a TikTok short form video that veganism is a scam and we all should just quit.
Veganism is a total scam, and within 3 minutes, I'm going to convince you why.
Alright, I'm down for the challenge, but anyway, before we move on, let's make sure that we're all on the same page. Since he says veganism is a total scam, let's make sure we know precisely what veganism is. And here's the long-standing definition that goes back to Great Britain in the 1940s. Veganism is a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. So let's keep that in mind as we move on here.
First thing people say is that humans are not designed to eat meat. This is bullshit for 2 reasons.
All right, so first of all, it sounds like you have no idea what veganism is. Your claim here that vegans say that humans weren't designed to eat meat. I mean, what does that have to do with animal cruelty and exploitation? I mean, obviously he's got veganism, an ethical stance, confused with a vegan diet, a diet of just eating plants. And they're not the same thing. But let's get back to his claim here. He's saying that vegans are saying, supposedly, that humans weren't designed to eat meat. Well, I don't know what that really means, but we do know it's a fact that humans can and do and have been eating meat, and their bodies can process it, and they don't die, they continue to live. So anyone who might be saying that humans can't eat meat, well, they can, so they're just flat out wrong. So he kind of has a straw man here.
The first one, these little canine incisors are there for you to chew tough things, okay?
I mean, that's just plain stupid. It seems like meat is the only hard thing that our teeth get to chew there. I mean, I go to work on my teeth when I'm chewing things like, say, nuts and seeds, say eggplant, mushrooms. I mean, just because you can chomp things with your teeth doesn't mean, you shouldn't eat a diet of all plants.
If you wanted to have grass as your main source of energy, your mouth would look like a cow's.
Another straw man, another false depiction of what vegans actually eat. No vegan I know of eats a diet of just grass. I mean, come on.
You check out the teeth of a cow and you check out our teeth, they are not the same. The second more important reason is that you have a stomach full of acid. You would not need a stomach full of acid if you were there eating plants and grass. Okay, we are perfectly designed and evolved to break down meat products after we chew them inside the stomach.
I mean, I really doubt this guy's a proper certified nutritionist. He's saying because we have stomach acids, therefore our bodies are meant to eat meat and not plants. I mean, he's lying to you here. Stomach acids help break down not only meats, but plants as well. All foods. Like, this is just complete crap.
I'll give you another reason. Humans have been around in our current form for about 300,000 years. And at no point have we ever had a society that was purely vegetables only.
Once again, how does that have anything whatsoever to do with veganism, which is the title of your video? Remember, veganism is a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. And his claim there that there are no societies that ate only vegetables, do you know that for an absolute fact? He might be right. Let's run with that. Just say he's right there. Let's give him that argument. So what? I mean, people back then lived to be 30 years old. They were trying to survive to the next day. They didn't have the luxuries that we have in civilization. Living safely in houses, being able to access food pretty much anytime, anywhere. They didn't have the luxury to make choices like we do, saying, I believe it's wrong to harm and exploit animals. I'll just go to the market and buy only plants instead. They didn't have that luxury. So why are you trying to say because people couldn't do that 300,000 years ago, we shouldn't do that now when we're very well able to?
No point. No society ever lived to tell the tales and live to reproduce. Hello? Hint, hint.
Wait, are you trying to suggest that vegans are physically incapable of reproduction?
They weren't able to reproduce living on a vegan diet, but everybody knew this.
Bro is just plain flat out lying here. There's no evidence, no credible evidence of any kind that vegans are physically incapable of reproduction. I mean, I know plenty of vegans that have had children. I mean, this is an extraordinary claim. You better show some extraordinary evidence that vegans can't have kids, despite the fact that vegans do have kids. So pretty much everything he says from here on out, and everything he said before, we just can just toss it out. The guy is just flat out lying. He's not doing just some basic fact checking, just making up some bizarre, crazy fantasies that exist in his mind about what vegans are and what veganism is, and doesn't even know what veganism is.
It's only now we think we're smart. We watch a Game Changers documentary with some heavy bias from the people selling pea protein.
Oh, that's a new conspiracy I've never heard before. So yeah, big pea protein is pushing all this plant-based, non-evidence-based propaganda on people. Wow.
And all of a sudden we think that eating plants only is good for you.
Yeah, despite the mountain of science that says otherwise. Like, say, this recent study from 2024, which confirms many other previous studies that show that eating a plant-based diet reduces your risk for both all-cause mortality and cardiovascular disease death.
Another reason that veganism is a scam is that you can't get certain nutrients from plants.
Oh boy, I'm sure this is going to be another shit show.
Okay, you cannot get zinc from plants.
All right, some more bullshit here. Vegans and vegetarians eating a well-balanced diet, eating their grains, their tofu, their legumes, are getting great sources of zinc. Oh, and by the way, that was just a peer-reviewed study published in an Australian medical journal that I showed there. And notice how bro here showed nothing other than his own ignorance.
You cannot get B12 from plants.
Oh, so you're saying it's necessary to eat a bunch of meat in order to have healthy B12 levels? Again, complete bullshit, because approximately 40% of Americans either have low or dangerously low B12 levels, and they're eating a bunch of meat. So 2 out of 5 Americans should just be taking a B12 supplement. I know people say, oh, it's not natural, blah, blah. Who cares? If they're low, that's what they need to do. They just can't eat more meat because the meat's not cutting it. Let me show you the horrors of how horrible it is to take a B12 supplement. But maybe like 2-3 times a week, I get this out of the fridge, I go, that's it. If that's all I need to do in order to not eat meat because it violates my moral and ethical principles, that's just a no-brainer.
You can't get other B vitamins. There's loads of other minerals that are barely absorbable in plants. Vitamin A, real vitamin A, retinol, usable vitamin A is not found in plants.
Once again, complete bullshit. The National Institute of Health here in the United States includes mangoes, papaya, squashes, carrots, and sweet potatoes as good plant sources of vitamin A. And he lied about there not being retinol usable vitamin A in plants. Well, here is a list of retinol activity equivalents of plant foods. And you see, it's quite retinol active, liar.
Iron, proper bioavailable iron, stuff that your body can actually use, not that needs to convert from one thing to another.
Yeah, this is another non-evidence-based piece of crap that anti-vegans love to say, that the non-heme iron found in plants is somehow not good for you, doesn't absorb well, or some crap like that. Well, let's see if that were true. I have some blood tests back from 3 years ago. That was the last time I had a blood test that measured iron. So you'd think after 10 years of having this horribly deficient plant iron, non-heme iron, I should have some real iron deficiencies, some anemia. I should be maybe even dead. Well, look, all my blood levels for iron, as you see, are perfectly in the healthy reference range. I'd love to hear bro's explanation for why I'm not dead or deficient yet. And I'm sure there'd be some kind of gaslighting. Maybe I'm some kind of outlier. I'm a rare genetic freak or something like that. And no, health organizations from around the world, after having reviewed the scientific literature on nutrition and plant-based diets, there is a general scientific consensus among them. As you see here, well-planned vegan diets are nutritionally adequate for all people at all ages. I'm not some kind of genetic freak.
A lady called Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride, who wrote the book The Gaps Diet, she said it perfectly when I went to see a lecture of hers back in 2012. She said, there are 2 types of foods, okay? You have building foods and you have cleansing foods. The building foods are the animals and the cleansing foods are the plants. And you need both to thrive as humans.
Oh yeah, well, because some doctor lady said this at a lecture in 2012, it must be true, right? I mean, what is this nonsense that you need to eat meat in order to build muscle or something like that? I mean, I guess we should not look at people like Patrick Baboumian breaking world records as a strongman here. This can't be possible. But no, and at this year's Olympics, we have a vegan gold medalist.
I'm vegan.
Why do people even make videos like this all the time in the first place? Like, I mean, they don't even understand what veganism is. They think it's a diet. They have no idea what they're talking about. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. And then they just say all this complete nonsense. I just, like everything I showed here, pretty much everything he said, it's just factually untrue. He's just making crap up, repeating crap he heard at the gym. Like, why? Why can't you just do a little fact checking before you go out and lie to people on social media? I understand. I don't do that. Why can't you just do a little research before making crap videos like this? So anyway, guys, let me know why does this happen all the time? Why do people like me and Brian and Lifting Vegan Logic and everyone have to respond to this nonsense? I guess we don't have to, but we just feel compelled when we see such obviously, blatantly false stuff. So easy to respond to, easy to refute. So anyway, guys, leave your question, comments, and a little hit like, share this video. And if you think I'm full of crap and I'm a shill of big pea protein, come to my Friday live streams, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and give me your best logical, evidence-based argument, and I'll hear you out as long as you are civil. So until then, guys, remember, doesn't suck being vegan.